What's going on, guys? It's Recovery Kid Seth here today. Just going for a nice long walk. The way I prefer to do my cardio, I like to walk my way to a six-pack. In my opinion, it's the way to go. But anyways, let's talk about fat loss a little bit today. As you can see by the title of this video, I'm going to talk about whether you should take it nice and slow and pace yourself, or whether you should be more assertive and aggressive with your calorie deficit and make it go faster. Well, I'm gonna say it's always individual with these things. It's never black and white. And so let's start off with the slow approach first. Let's talk about the pros and cons. So if you decide to go for the slower route, let's say you're only in like a 250 to 400 calorie deficit a day and looking to lose around half a pound a week. Well, the benefits of doing that is you're more likely to maintain your muscle, and it's possible to even gain some muscle when you are cutting that slow if you're relatively new to weight training. And the second benefit of going slower on your fat loss is it's just easier. You're less hungry, you're in less of a deficit, so it's just easier on your body, and it can be a lot easier for you psychologically too as well. Now the cons of going slow is it takes longer to get to your goals. So you're going to be in a deficit dieting for longer, and which can be frustrating, especially like looking for visual changes in the mirror. It's going to happen a lot slower when you go at that pace, and just more time spent in a deficit is just more time you've got to worry about tracking everything precisely, and more time you just have to spend not really making a whole lot of progress to your physique as far as gaining muscle, because for the most part, to gain muscle, you got to be eating in a bit of a surplus for the most part. That's not black and white either, but in general, if you're dieting, you're not really gaining muscle, you're just looking to try to keep your muscle and maintain it as you're losing fat. So I'd say a slow approach to dieting is going to be best for somebody who is trying to compete. If you have to get really shredded, really lean, then a slower approach is probably good, because you need to maintain as much muscle as you can, and you don't want to get burnt out on dieting too fast by going really aggressive. And so if you're already fairly lean too, if you're like 12% body fat and under that, then it's definitely better to go slower. So yeah, that's the people who a slow approach is probably good for. Or if you're just not in a hurry and you don't mind dieting and being in a deficit and you just want it to be easier, then yeah, take it slow, and if that helps you. So let's talk about the aggressive fat loss approach, going quicker, going like 500 calorie deficit or larger than that. The pros are, obviously, you can get to your goal a lot faster. You can see visual changes in the mirror on week to week, like you just watch yourself getting leaner all the time. And so it can be very motivating to keep going and to feel like you're doing the right thing, especially when the numbers on the scale is going down quickly. Then like, all right, I'm making great progress, and which can be really motivating. And so the cons of going fast with your diet being aggressive is you have to deal with hunger quite a bit more. You're more likely to run into some more fatigue, and if you're already lean and you're trying to get even leaner, going aggressive like that, your chances of losing muscle are greater, essentially. So who is a fast cut best for, in my opinion? I think a fast cut is going to be beneficial to people who are very overweight, because one, they're most likely not going to lose any muscle if you're very overweight and you go in an aggressive deficit, because your body has lots of fat reserves on hand to pull from, and so it's going to choose those over your muscle most likely. Two, if you've got a lot of weight to lose, you're better off just being aggressive and making better progress. If you got 40 pounds to lose, you don't want to be spending 80 weeks to lose that 40 pounds. You're better off trying to lose that 40 pounds in, 30 to 40 weeks at the most. So it's just better for, people who have a lot of weight to lose. Or let's say your current goal is to build as much muscle as possible. And so you're going through bulking and cutting phases. Say once you reach the top end of your bulk, around 15-16% body fat, and so now it's time to cut, you gotta lose that body fat so you can start bulking again. I think in your situation, you should go aggressive. You should just get the cut done and over with as quickly as you can. So I would say go shoot for 1% of body weight loss per week. So if you're 200 pounds, shoot to lose 2 pounds a week. If you're 150 pounds, you could shoot to lose about 1.5 pounds per week just at the start at least. Do that for at least the first few weeks and you'll make very good progress very quickly. And then once you start getting a little bit leaner, I'd say once you get down to like 12%, 11%, then maybe slow down your fat loss a little bit for that last couple percentages of body fat, because then your chances of losing muscle will be less. And also, I think that if you go too aggressive for too long, your chances of binging are a lot greater. But yeah, the reason why you want to go nice and fast is because if your goal is to build muscle, the longer you're dieting in a deficit, the longer you're not building muscle for your goals. So you want to get the diet over with as quickly as you can so you can get back to bulking. And it's just really motivating watching yourself get leaner and leaner. And so that's why I advocate an aggressive approach. But if you are doing an aggressive approach, you need to make sure you are training hard in the gym still. You've got to give your muscles a reason to stick around and give your body a reason to use up fat instead of muscle. And obviously you got to make sure your protein intake is adequate. So I would say a minimum of 1 gram of protein per pound if you're going in an aggressive deficit or more. I find going a little bit higher than 1 gram of protein per pound helps a lot with satiety. It helps keep you full, and it helps sticking to that aggressive deficit a lot easier. So yeah, that's my thoughts on this topic. I'm currently cutting myself. I've been cutting for 3 weeks now, and I'm already down like about 7 pounds. I'd say probably 3 of that is probably just like water weight. And I'd say I probably lost about 4 pounds of fat in 3 weeks. It's because I'm smaller, so I've been shooting for like a 700 calorie deficit, so I'm losing at least like 1 1/3 pounds per week, which sounds about right because I'm down about 7 pounds already. So yeah, that's just the way I like to go about it. And I think if your goal is to build as much muscle as you can, that's the way to go. Go nice and quick, get it done over with, and get to bulking again. So thanks for watching this. I hope you liked what I had to say, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.